welcome to Season 3, Episode 23 of One Man's Opinion. Today I'm reviewing Helena Weinrauch's A Will to Live, adapted by Kirk Gostkowski, directed by Rick Hamilton, and starring Masha King, running off-Broadway at Chain Theater at 312 West 36th Street in New York City through September 16th. Before I continue with the review, I'd like to invite you to become a patron on my Patreon page. Any little bit you can donate is welcome and help pay for all the traveling and expenses over Connecticut to New York to review all this theater. I'll leave a link to my Patreon page in the description. Now back to the review. Based on the 1945 memoir by Weinrauch, A Will to Live is a one-person show starring Masha King as Helena Weinrauch. It is 1939 and Helena has just turned 16, living a fairly privileged life for the time, studying music and living happily with her family when the Nazis invade her hometown in Poland. Things turn from bad to worse when the Soviets invade, and from worse to worst when the Nazis return. Separated from her family, she goes into hiding, using fake documents to pose as a German until her cover is blown and sent to the Plaszow concentration camp. The story follows her time at Plaszow, her transfer to Auschwitz, and finally her transfer to Bergen-Belsen. So that's 3 different concentration camps she survives. It's no spoiler that Helena survives. The play opens with her recovering from her abuses at a Swedish hospital. Knowing that, A Will to Live is not about the destination and whether Helena makes it out alive, but experiencing the fight she goes through for nearly 6 years to stay alive. It's also about how the experience changes her as a human being. The most important moments of A Will to Live is the play's epilogue, which combines Masha King's performance alongside recorded interviews with the real Helena Weinrauch that is projected upstage. Personally, as brutal and devastating as the rest of the play is, it is this last scene that moved me the most. Masha King is herself a Jewish immigrant to the United States from Ukraine. Her performance has an emotional connection that punches you in the guts over and over as this young lady faces torturous experience after torturous experience, as she is burned with cigarettes, whipped, and wallowing in the filth and disease of the dead around her. What elevates the performance is King's ability to balance the fear of being seconds away from death at any time with the hope for another day. There were a few times where she tripped over her lines. I think that's in part the fault of Gostkowski's adaptation, where he 3 times in the play has her describe how destroyed Helena's hands become during some of the more severe labor and environmental abuses she suffers. It's a good description, but it is an easy way for a playwright to unintentionally trip up an actor who is deeply engaged with the performance. Really, though, I'm forgiving of King's occasional momentary lapse of remembering a line here or there, as the role is so heavy. Taking a beat to reset into the next scene or beat is necessary, and I'm fine with that. Though A Will to Live is a one-person show, there is a bit of audio of other people that Helena interacts with. Chain Theater is a small enough theater that I'm fine with that, but in a larger house, I would like to see the play expanded with maybe 3 or 4 actors occasionally coming on stage to play these smaller roles. There are a few problems with the voiceover dialogue. The voice acting isn't all that good, and it would be better if we had actors on stage to enhance the drama and for King to act against. Plus, with Chain Theater's brick wall theater space, it resonates in a way that sometimes makes the dialogue hard to understand. Deven Anderson's set and projection design is a blend of simplicity and complexity. I like how there are only 2 prominent set pieces, a bed with a chest and a chair with a small table. The projections are a mixed bag. Sometimes they feel atmospheric, but other times it can be distracting as I watch what I suspect is supposed to be flies flying around, but also looks like static. I'd love to see the show develop more. If it gets to move to a larger location, I'd like to see some of the projected scene elements maybe be represented with physical set pieces, and also bring in a couple of extra actors to create a bit more depth of character for the voices that we currently have. To embrace an oft-stated cliche, A Will to Live is a deep dive into the perseverance of the human spirit. The depictions of violence and horror of the Holocaust is going to make some people extremely uncomfortable, which is good. It should make you uncomfortable. But if you choose to see A Will to Live, which I hope you do, remember that there is hope and a message to take away that can embolden the human spirit and maybe find something in others that can bring us together. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see A Will to Live, I'll leave a link where you can get tickets in the description. I'd like to thank all my patrons for their support. Again, please feel free to support my channel on Patreon, and a link will be in the description. You can also support my show by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Infinite Life at Atlantic Theater Company, off-Broadway. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you at the theater.